Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talk about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so we got bid again. We can't have anything nice because something always seems to happen. And Amari Cooper, gone. Amari Cooper just informed the Raiders, as of you're watching this yesterday in the morning, that he was retiring. There was multiple reports out there. Here's what's going to happen, okay? More than likely, one of these two things happened. Either Amari Cooper just felt like he didn't have it. He went out there, he was trying to go out there and learn the system and go out there with the guys, and he just didn't have it. He felt like he didn't have it, and of his own volition, he said, you know what, I'm going to retire. That's possibility number one. Possibility number two is he went out there and was trying his best and thought he was doing pretty good, but the coaching staff is like, probably not. So he was either going to be left off the active roster, or he was going to be a really small part of the offense, or not really part of the game plan at all. And then he decided, you know what, if I'm not going to be a part of this offense, I'm not going to be a part of the team, I'm just going to retire. Either way, I'm good with it. This is the second time Amari Cooper's quit on us, and I like to give people second chances. I don't give people third chances, all right? So Amari Cooper, deuces, you're gone. I don't have any time for you anymore. We're going to listen to a little bit of Chip Kelly's press conference. I think he gets into it a little bit about the Amari Cooper thing. We're going to listen to Geno Smith and also Ashton Jeanty leading into his first NFL game. It's all about the offense today and what the offense has to do against the Patriots on Sunday in order to be victorious. We're going to get to all that. Before we do, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free, and it's the bare minimum you do support the channel besides doing nothing, just watch the video. Okay, we also have the Shield Society. If you want to be in the private watch party, if you want to be able to chat with me during the games and hear my analysis and go back and forth with me and ask questions, if you want to do that, if you want to have a chance to be on the show yourself, become a part of the Shield Society. It's $5. That's all it is. It's $5 a month. You get to be a part of all the private watch parties for all the whole season. And it's just us, guys. It's just us, nobody else. You don't have to worry about what happens in there. It's just Shield Society members, and that's it. All right, enough of that. Let's get to Chip Kelly. I really want to hear what Chip Kelly has to say about this.
You had a whole summer, everything to install, and now it's on to game planning. I guess how different is this week than what you guys have been doing the last couple months?
Well, it's not much different the way Pete runs this. So, every day we have a situation, whether it be red zone, coming out, third down, something that's central to the theme of that day in training. So, we've been game planning. Obviously, we've been going against our defense in those situations, and now it's an opportunity to go against Rabes and what he's going to do. So that part's different. But we've been preparing for scenarios that are going to occur in the game all, since we got here. OTAs were based on the same exact thing. So, but it is a different opponent, and it counts. So that's the biggest thing that we're excited about.
Obviously, you expect the guys to get better and better and more well-versed with your playbook every day. How do you feel they are right now heading into week one?
They're doing great. I think part of it leads from Geno, because Geno's been around. He's played for a lot of coaches. He's been in the league for a while. There's been a lot of collaboration with him. He's got a great point of view in terms of the game of football. He's as smart a guy as I've ever been around playing the game. So, really excited about what he feels comfortable in, and that's what this deal is when we're going into these games, is what do our players feel comfortable in, because it really doesn't matter what we know because we're not playing the game. It's really how does Geno feel in terms of the game plan, and he has a lot of input on it, and so we'll kind of roll from there.
For you as a coach, what's the difference feel being coaching on the sideline and coaching in the booth?
That's a great question. I think you can see the game better from the booth, and I think you can feel the game better from the sideline. So, I think sometimes you can't tell that, hey, that corner looks like there's something wrong with him because he's in front of you and you're watching him. He looks like he's limping a little bit. You may not see it. It's a little bit more sanitized when you're up top. You're just kind of seeing how they're deployed. Is it a 7-man spacing or 8-man spacing with the front? What are they playing coverage-wise? Are the corners playing inside leverage, outside leverage? Sometimes when you're on the field, you can't see the leverage of the corner on the other side. He looks like he's 6 or 7 yards off, but is he inside or outside? So I've always felt like that. I think you can see the game better from up top, but I think you can feel the game better from the field.
Chip, we've seen Dante Thornton, really come on strong this whole time since he's been here and carve out a starting role for himself. How much have you seen him grow just from the time that you met him in OTAs to now as you're getting ready for week one?
Yeah, I think he was a good product coming in, and obviously our personnel department, and really Pete was the guy that kind of fell in love with him watching the tape, and felt the same thing. As I said earlier, there aren't many people that tall and long that are that fast. But I've seen him really embrace every day and just. I don't think he was thinking about starting or anything. He was just thinking about coming here every day. He got in the building. Can I be a little bit better today than I was yesterday? And you saw him grow on a daily basis. Now, obviously, the next jump is he's played in 3 preseason games, but the preseason games and the regular season games are different. But, I expect, and I think he expects, and I think everybody here expects for him to play really well on Sunday, because we always believe that you're going to play on Sunday the way you trained, and I think he trains at a really high level right now.
Chip, it's been 9 years since you coached on an NFL sideline. How exciting is that for you personally to be back on that? And then how much do you think the game's evolved?
Oh, the game's definitely evolved. I think that's a great question. And the first part, I'm really excited. The one thing about the NFL is it's the best in the world. And to go against a Mike Vrabel coach team. Mike did an unbelievable job when he was at Tennessee. He's a defensive guy. His teams are always going to be really well prepared. And so we got our work cut out for him, and that's the beauty of it. It's competition at the highest in the game I love. So, I'm excited to see how our players go perform.
You guys have brought in Amari Cooper, and looks like that's no longer on the table. Does that change anything, or was he here not long enough?
Well, I feel because he's he's a talented player now, but he called Pete this morning and had a good conversation with Pete, and I think he's just done playing. But you could still see the talent was there. But we weren't. We still have today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday's practice session before we have to finalize who was up and who was down, and we hadn't made any final decisions on was he going to play in the first game or not in the first game. He was training with us and got reps and all those other things, but it was a matter of, usually I think for everybody, you're not making your final 46-man roster or 48-man roster until Saturday anyway, so we hadn't had any discussions. We said we were going to go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we determined who was up and who was down. So, it's unfortunate because I think the world of him. I think he's a heck of a football player. He's had a heck of an NFL career, but he knows in his heart what he wants to do. So I wish him the best. I've always been a big fan of his.
Outside of Jacoby, this is a young wide receiver group.
Yeah.
That's probably good and bad, whatever, all those things. But how do you feel about the young wide receiver?
I feel good. And I think part of it for me, my comfort level as a coach is Geno is there. So having a veteran quarterback, I think if you had maybe a bunch of young wideouts and a young guy pulling the trigger, you got a rookie at the running back spot. That's a little bit different. But I think the fact that Geno's there, that Jacoby's there, has got a lot of reps, and then there's a lot of experience at the tight end spot. So we feel pretty good about some positions, but the other guys, that's what this league is. There's going to be certain spots where no one's totally set in their depth at every position and got veterans playing everywhere. It just doesn't happen that way. There's some positions you feel really good about. Other ones you feel good, but you're not sure until you get them in a game. And so that's what I'm excited about, those young guys getting a chance to go play in a game.
Talk about the trust that Geno brings. You've been working with him obviously this whole offseason. Out behind him, these guys that just got here.
Yeah.
Obviously the plan is Geno just be healthy and play the whole game, but how comfortable are you going into the game knowing that you haven't had those guys very long behind him?
No, that's just the NFL. That's just the way it works. Obviously, losing Aiden, who had experience in what we were doing because he was here through all of OTAs and everything in the offseason, losing him in that Cardinal game hurt. But Kenny's played in games. That's the one thing you feel comfortable with Kenny is that he's played in games. Now he's still learning the terminology. He's worked extremely hard, but he's got varsity. I mean, he's got NFL reps underneath his belt. So if that has to go, then we have a plan when Kenny goes in the game. What he feels comfortable in and what our offense is going to be. But if we can keep Geno upright, then that would be a good thing for us.
Obviously, the Patriots.
Sorry, go ahead.
Obviously, the Patriots have a new staff, but what sticks out to you about the front seven that they have on defense there?
Yeah, really formal. I think that there may be 9 new starters on that defense. So a couple of Barmore was there before. Milton Williams is coming off a Super Bowl. Harold Landry is a player that everybody in this league knows about. So I think the strength of their defense is going to be that front seven, and that's what you got to be prepared for. But the game of football is always one up front. It's a battle of the offensive lines and defensive lines in this league, and when you're really solid at you got a shot. So I think that battle between our O-line and that front is going to really tell you what's going to go on in this football game.
You guys a little bit light on the number of
we
receivers on the roster right now. Obviously, you have guys on the practice squad, but how beneficial is it to have as deep of a tight end room as you do and be able to use 12 personnel, 13 personnel?
Well, it's the same. I mean, we'll have 5 or 6 guys active on game day, just like the Patriots will have 5 or 6 guys active. So there's not there's nobody in this league that's going in with 8 or 9 receivers on game day. It's just the way the NFL roster is. So we're going to have the same amount of receivers as everybody else. It's. I think a couple of our receivers don't have as much experience, but there's other people places like that. I know you look at the Patriots roster, they've got some young guys that made it at the wide receiver spot. They got some young guys that made it at the running back spot. So, that's this league. There's such a churn on the rosters for everybody in this league, whether you're the Raiders or the Patriots or whomever. Very rarely are you sitting pat on where you are in terms of who you got. You can just look at the game tonight. That team that the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champs, but that defense is drastically different than the team that won the Super Bowl for them. You talk about the Cowboys and you're talking about Micah. Well, all of a sudden Micah's not there, and that picture changed. So that's just the NFL, So it's what teams can groove over the 17 game season that you play, and who can stay healthy. That's the other part that's a big thing in this league. The attrition part of this league is a real big deal as you go. So the one thing I think we feel real confident in our group is that besides Aiden and Lonnie, we've got everybody that started camp with us that was here for the roster. We had to add Kenny and we had to add a guy on defense, but besides that, the guys that were here through the spring and went through all of the summer with us are the guys we're going to go to battle with, and we're excited about that. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, so I picked up on this. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but Chip Kelly said that Amari Cooper called Pete Carroll this morning. I hope, for Amari Cooper's sake, he went and did this in person. I would hate to just get a second chance in the NFL and retire and basically quit on somebody over the phone. That's just ridiculous. Whatever, man. If Amari Cooper wants to be a leva and he wants to quit, just let him do it. We got plenty on our team right now. Would it have been nice to have a player of the experience level of Amari Cooper to help teach some of the younger guys? Sure. But now they're going to get more exposure. They're going to get more reps. They're going to get more challenges. Are they going to be asked to do some things that maybe they're not the best at? Yeah, out of necessity, probably, yeah. Is that kind of what Pete Carroll wants to do? No, he really wants to stick to what the guys do well, but they're going to have to get stretched out a little bit and do a little bit more. And, I think they're going to be able to handle it pretty well. Chip Kelly said it right, man. It's just the way the NFL works. A lot of turnover, a lot of churn. You got to find the right guys. It's refreshing to hear that Dante Thornton was a Pete Carroll guy, that Pete Carroll had his eye on him. And, he was up there in the Pacific Northwest, right? He was up there in Seattle when Dante Thornton was up in Oregon. And maybe he kind of kept a close eye on the guy from when he was up there. And who knows? We'll see. But what we do know is that this offense needs to do a couple of things to be successful. The first thing is they need to be able to run the football. This front seven of the Patriots, it's tough. These guys are going to be very well coached. Now, they're not super dynamic as far as being able to do multiple things at the linebacker spot or anything like that, but they're going to be put in the right positions. You're not going to be able to fool this team. What you're going to have to do is out-leverage them with your concepts, with your route combinations, formations, and how you run off of those formations. That's how you're going to beat this defense if you're Chip Kelly and the Raiders. This is something that's going to be huge. If the Raiders find success running the football with Ashton Jeanty and others early, you're going to see that the game plan of the Patriots is going to switch up a little bit, and you're going to find open receivers up the seams with Brock Bowers, I believe. On the outside, you're going to see Dante Thornton a lot. You're going to see guys like Besh and Jacoby Myers get moved all around. This is going to be something that's going to be really telling. I understand it. It's really simple, right? Oh, you got to run the football. Blah, blah, blah. No. This is imperative for this game specifically because there are some issues about Christian Gonzalez playing on the outside. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? We don't know yet. If he doesn't play, the secondary, which was average by all accounts going in, if you take Christian Gonzalez out of that group, it's going to be a little bit less than that. So you're going to see a lot more loose coverage on the outside. You're going to see a lot more stuff open over the middle. If that's the case, if you can run against that, it's going to open up a lot more stuff. They're going to not want to let the Raiders go deep. So they're going to play a little bit of a shell on top and play really tight with their front and seven. If you can bust through that front seven with our run game, there's really going to be not much they can do to stop us. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to the chess match between our offense and their defense. So let's go ahead and move on to Geno Smith.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
How you doing?
good does it feel to be in a game week and preparation week for the season opener?
Yeah, it feels great to be preparing, for a game week. I think we've done a great job, in handling what's in front of us, and today's no different, man. We got a practice coming up. Looking forward to getting better at practice and taking it day by day.
Now that it's here for real, not individually, but as a team, what were you most impressed with how you handled camp and moving into this moment as a team? Yeah,
I just think overall the way that we performed, the way we worked, the competition aspect of how we, got better each and every day at practice. Defense making plays, offense making plays. You saw a lot of young guys out there getting reps and kind of getting acclimated to the NFL game. So I thought we accomplished a lot throughout camp, but now it's time to see exactly what that is. And so really looking forward to this week and looking forward to today's practice.
We've talked about your opportunity before, but now it's for real. It's a game week. So how does this opportunity feel for you in this Chip Kelly offense with this Raiders team?
Feels great. Like I said, I'm blessed to be here, blessed to be in this position, thankful to be a part of this organization. But now it's about winning. And, I look forward to going out there with my teammates and getting that done.
He mentions you and, you South Florida guys.
Yeah,
so what does that mean to you?
It means everything, man. I know, his family is back home, going to be watching. My family's back home is going to be watching. And we expect to go out there and do great things so the entire South Florida can be happy with our work.
New names on that Patriot defense this year. How do you go about looking at the tape, looking at things that they've done, new pieces that have been brought?
Man, scouting them all. It's week one. We can go off of, some of the things they've done in the past, but as we all know, they can do anything they want. They can call any defense, any scheme, and it's up to us to go out there and adjust to it. So, I've been watching all of them, man. The starters, the backups, just trying to get a feel for all the guys, and also just watching some of the stuff they did in the past to try and see if some of it will correlate. Obviously, we got to see what we get on game day. That's the most important thing. But I've been studying those guys.
You got a couple rookies starting day one, Ashton and Dante. What are you expecting from those guys?
The same as we've seen, for them to get better with each and every rep, for them to go out there and showcase the ability that they have as well as the hard work that they're putting in, but to also go out there and be themselves, man. We expect great things from those guys. We got a lot of rookies on this team that are going to be, called upon. And so they've been doing a great job so far. All they got to do is just keep doing what they're doing, and we should be fine.
As a quarterback, how difficult is it to get on the same page with a rookie wide receiver? And Dante, we're starting to see you connect with him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a rookie or a veteran. Takes reps, and all of us, we have to learn each other. And so, Dante's done a tremendous job at being available as well as, working hard. And he's asking the right questions. He's made so many plays throughout camp, made that great play, against the Cardinals. And there's a lot that we expect of him, but we got to manage those expectations, and we really got to focus on the work, the day-to-day work. And so developing guys like that, it's about the process over the results. And so we want to make sure that he's getting better each day.
In your experience in season openers, what's usually the level of surprise when you get on the field like, okay, this wasn't exactly what we thought was going to happen? And how much do you kind of like that chess game of making those in-game adjustments?
Yeah, that's week to week in this league, man. There's some great D coordinators, great head coaches, great players. And so there's always going to be change-ups. There's always going to be little nuances to their game plan, and we've got to adjust to it. We got to make decisions on the fly, and that's why I'm here, to make those decisions. But, it could be 100% of what you're seeing. It could be, 0% of what you're seeing. It's all about what you get on game day. And so we'll study them and prepare for the guys to be out there and adjust when we need to.
What are the characteristics that this team needs to contend and compete week to week?
Yeah. Well, we need to work hard, and that's on a day-to-day basis in practice. We got to get better throughout the year, and so that speaks to our hard work. And we got to be tough, man. We got to be a tough, scrappy team. We got to go out there no matter who we play. It's a championship week, championship game, and we got to have the right approach, which I think we have. We have the right leaders in this locker room and on this team, but we also got to go out there and we got to be productive. That's the main thing. The game gets won between the lines whenever we play, and so we got to go out there and make the plays when they need to be made.
You've now played in front of Raider Nation a few times in the preseason game, open practices, the mock game. You've been on a few teams, but compared to the other fan bases that you play for, what makes Raider Nation just so different or special in your opinion?
In my opinion, man, historic, man. Like, you think about the Raider logo, silver and black, Raider Nation. You think about history, man. Just the history of the NFL is not there without the Raiders. And, it's a big part of the international fan base, right? The people who don't live in America, they see that logo, they recognize it. So to me, it's about history, but it's also about going out there and playing with pride. There's a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches who have also worn the silver and black, and so I take great pride in that. And so I want to make sure I go out there and put the right things on tape so that they can all be proud of me.
With the players that you have around you in this offense led by Chip Kelly, do you get a sense of you don't have to do too much? You can just kind of let the game come to you?
Yeah, that's exactly my game. Just do the right thing, make the right decisions, get the ball out of my hands in rhythm, on time, and accurately, and let the playmakers do their jobs. My job is to get us to the right play and then, make the right decision. So as long as I'm doing that with the guys around me, we should be fine.
You're at this stage of your career. How excited do you get for a guy like Ashton Jeanty who's making his debut? And how do you kind of, maybe counsel him on not making too much out of this one game?
Yeah, I'm so excited for him. Like, not just this one game. Obviously, it's our most important game, but just as he grows throughout his career, throughout the season, all the experiences. I can think back and being a rookie, and there's a lot of things that you don't know and you have to experience in order to gain that, knowledge that you need. So for me, I try to help him as much as I can, but there's things that he's just got to learn through experience, and I look forward to really helping him and guiding him through that.
How does this opener in your first year with the new team compare to other ones that you've experienced?
Oh, man, it feels like my first day, my first game in the NFL. It's always so special to me running out that tunnel with my teammates, got the logo, the Raider logo on, and just looking up and just kind of, thinking about, what it took to get here. There's always that moment of, gratifying moment of just like, hey, man, you're 13, but then, get right back to work, and so very thankful, very blessed to be in this position, but looking forward to, going out there and producing.
Coach Carroll had mentioned that this group is made up of a bunch of guys with chips on their shoulders. Do you feel that when you're out there, and how do you think that's going to translate?
Yeah, and we want to continue to build that. We don't ever want that chip on your shoulder to leave. I'll always have that for the remainder of my life. I was born with it, and we got a lot of guys on this team exactly like that. So yeah, we want to be that team with something to prove, and I think we have a lot of reasons to have something to prove. So looking forward to, like I said, going out and competing, and we got the right guys, so we'll be ready.
All right, you guys all set? Cool. Thanks, Geno.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
All right, good stuff from Geno Smith. Now, there's something to be said for having real adversity to overcome. And a lot of these players on the Raider team have that real adversity. They do have those chips on their shoulders. So I'm really glad that was brought up towards the end, because these guys, if they band together, if it's just one or two guys that are like, you know what, I'm counted out, let me see if I can get it done. A lot of guys don't understand that what the struggles that they're going through, and they may not be galvanized enough. But there's a lot of people across this roster who had big careers in the past, or I don't want to say were bust, but maybe more was thought of, and they need to come back and prove themselves again. Pete Carroll included. He was fired from his last job, so he wants to go out there and prove that he still has it. And Chip Kelly was out there, and he lost his job when he was in the NFL, and then he bounced around a little bit. And he did really well last season, but can he do it in the NFL? We're gonna find out. But there's a few things that I really wanted to touch on what Geno Smith said. The first thing is, and this is really refreshing to hear from a quarterback, is we have a plan, but we have to be able to adjust. We have to be able to adjust to what we see. Is what we're getting 50% of what we're seeing, 10%, 0? What is it, right? And part of that is the pre-snap read to the post-snap snapshot of what you're seeing after the ball is snapped. And there's a few levels of like consciousness and awareness, right? The highest level are the people who can anticipate things happening and who are prepared for it. Those are the best coaches. Those are the best players, the players who can anticipate things happening and be prepared for them before they're even told what's going to happen. So this is going to be really big, especially early in the season. That's why you see a lot of coaches that sometimes are really good early in the season, is because there's not a lot of tendencies out on tape, especially if you have, like the Raiders they have almost a whole new defense, basically, right? More than half of their defense is new, so they don't have a lot of tendencies out there. Patrick Graham is still there, but the players aren't. And something similar going on with the Patriots. But yeah, there's not a lot of tendencies out there. You don't really get tendencies till like week 4 or week 5. You start to see some tendencies happen. But for right now, initially, you're going to have to be able to anticipate things and really focus on your preparation and your execution. So that's Geno Smith. I'm really looking forward to watching him go out there and lead our team on offense. Another guy that I said is going to be a catalyst for this offense on the ground is going to be Ashton Jeanty. Let's take a peek at Ashton Jeanty's press conference.
Ashton, at least to us, you seem like a pretty chill dude. You kind of wear that well, but I got to imagine it's a pretty exciting moment for you. And so how are you feeling on the verge of your first NFL?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
it's the most important game right now because it's the one we're about to play. But not gonna make it any bigger than it is. We're still playing football, still doing what we've been doing. But obviously it's my real debut, so I'm excited.
What is the most impressed with in terms of through your first camp? Now it's here for real. What were you most impressed with how guys acted and how they led you as professionals? What about that camp?
Yeah, I think just from the standpoint of being a pro, coming here, getting to work, showing us the way, us rookies, what it takes to prep our bodies, mentally prepare in the film room, all those type of things, but also helping us, vets in my room like Raheem, helping us with different things, teaching, helping me with plays, that I need help with, whether it's protection, whatever it is. Just you can see that at every single position.
How do you see the collective motivation? ¿Cómo ves la emoción y la sensación de todo el equipo colectivamente?
I think, just as a group, for us, it's just upholding that standard, each and every single day. Obviously, the run game wasn't the best last year, so, this year we want to take a step forward, but not just in the run game, but I'm sure as a whole offense, we all just want to be better and, be great.
How do you not allow this to get too big for you and just realize it's another football game, even though it's your first professional game?
Prepare like I have before. Obviously, in the NFL, details are a step higher, so I'm taking my details a step higher. And, how I'm preparing for the game, whether that's watching film, making sure I know the playbook, in and out, what I'm going to see on defense. But exactly that, prepare like it was a Super Bowl game or not, prepare the exact same way.
You're looking at the Patriots on tape. Obviously, I'm sure it's more personnel based. What are some of the guys? What stands out to you about the guys up on that front four from them?
Yeah, they're a great group. Some of the guys are more physical, especially the defensive ends, really setting that edge, using speed, and great moves. Milton being a more physical guy, disrupting the run and stuff like that. So definitely a good group.
What are you most looking forward to in your first game?
Just going out there with the boys and, playing football. Obviously, I want to make plays for the team, but more than anything, I just want to see us as a group, go out there and dominate.
What did you learn about yourself, your own game, the NFL during the preseason?
I learned I probably to make more guys miss, but I just think the mentality of us, as a team, we're gonna play fast. We're gonna play physical and we're gonna play smart, and just continuing to uphold that standard, in the running back room, and let it translate through the whole team.
Is that something that people have had to remind you of, like you don't have to run everybody over?
Yeah, I just kind of take it as a joke because I feel like, me as a player, I've been a pretty physical player, and the scenarios I was put in, like I kind of had to, but yeah, obviously you want to pick and choose your battles. The season is long, and I want to be available, throughout the whole season.
Which one of your teammates has helped you out the most so far?
The most, I'd say Raheem, honestly, just him, obviously being a running back in the room, older guy who's been doing it for a long time, and not just from a football perspective, but just even different things off the field he's helped me with as well.
What's the biggest piece of advice he's given you?
Shoot, he's given a lot, but
Body.
I'd say for sure is like taking care of your body.
Yep.
He stressed that to me a lot of times. Take care of your body because it's a long season, and I want to play for a long time.
Open that question up and talk about holding that standard for the running back room. Not just Raheem, but just the whole room in general. How much of those guys been able to help you and, provide you and the information that you need to really take on this role?
Yeah, everybody. It's a collective group, whether it's a pass play or a run play, maybe what was the footwork on this, what's the route on this, just collectively as a group, we're helping each other. To where we're a unit. We want to see everybody win. Whoever's out there, it should be no drop off.
You mentioned, you don't have to try to run over every guy, and especially when you have the shiftiness and ability to be elusive. Is that something you want to display just as much as the physicality?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel that's what makes me special as a player. I can do both. So hopefully I put that display on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff from Ashton Jeanty. Yeah, man, that's something he needs to learn right away. You can't run over everybody in the NFL. I think he said in the post-game presser after that game with the 49ers, yeah, maybe I'll try to make the bigger linebackers miss, and I'll run over the DBs, but not try to run over the linebackers again because that hurts. So, yeah, definitely something that you need to learn moving forward. I kind of figured that taking care of your body is a good tip from a guy who's like in his 10th, 11th year in Raheem Mostert to a rookie in Ashton Jeanty. You got to take care of your body, man. The more that you take care of your body, it's famous how much money that like a LeBron James or something like that, how he spends money on his body to keep himself in great shape. He doesn't have to look any further than on his own team and Maxx Crosby. Look what he does to help keep his body in shape to be able to play all those snaps. It's a big deal. And if he starts doing it now, it's not going to be anything crazy or different, or he's not going to work out of a deficit moving forward. As far as Ashton Jeanty on the field goes, this guy is going to be used, maybe not a ton, not 30 touches or anything like that, but he's definitely going to set the tone for this offense. He's going to be involved in the offense on all the phases, on running the ball, catching the ball, and also on protection. So he's going to need to be out there a lot to be able to be a guy that can be used not only for offensive game planning himself, but also as a decoy and also as a blocker. He's going to be out there a lot, man. I'm really intrigued by how he's going to play in his first game. It's not all how he does. The offensive line also has to do well, and also the game planning has to be really on point. And Chip Kelly's going to have to mind his P's and Q's against this Patriots defense. These guys are rough up front, man. These guys up front are really tough. You got Barmore, you got Milton Williams up there. These guys are going to be really stout, and you're going to have a lot of guys who are going to be packing their lunch, especially in the interior of that line, to be able to move these guys to get those running lanes open and help this offense be the best it can be. All right, guys, that's my time for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it's the bare minimum you do support the channel besides doing just watch the video. Guys, on top of that, with the Shield Society, you know what it is by now, okay? If you want to be a part of the watch party, if you want to get my analysis, if you want to have a chance to be on the show yourself, if you want to have a private, just exclusive area where you can just say whatever you want, not have to worry about anybody else, it's the Shield Society. It's the watch parties just for you. Every single regular season game. It's $5 a month. Do it if you can. Don't if you can't. It's all good. You're still going to get all the free content every single day that I offer. On top of that, I need you guys to tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going on in Raider Nation today. All right, guys, that's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.